I'm Scott.
How you doing, Scott?
Good, man. Very well.
Good. Good. And Christine's up there. I see her. Just do one thing quick before so I can get comfortable. And wait for you guys.
So Scott, where did you find us?
On the Reddit, on the subreddit screenwriting.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So there should be 12 or 13 of us tonight.
Oh, very cool. I got a buddy who's joining, someone I know, filmmaker.
What do you do? You write?
I write. I don't write professionally yet, nothing produced, but I was a professional actor for years, voiceover actor. And I've got about 5 or 6 scripts under my belt, a few pilots, a couple of features, and, you know, just chugging away.
That's what we're all doing. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, what kind of genre?
I usually head towards sci-fi and fantasy, though I do have a nice coming of age story, but science fiction, fantasy, frequently. It seems that I lean in that direction heavily. Or speculative sci-fi.
So David, if you want to, oh, good, you unmuted yourself, okay.
Yeah.
And
Hi,
also
Christine.
Michael. So David,
Mike,
where
you're
did
on
you
mute.
find us?
Hello, nice to meet you. What's that?
Where did you find us?
You know, I'm trying to remember. I want to say it could have been on Reddit.
I posted in Reddit, yes.
Okay, yeah. I think it was Reddit then.
Is that where you found us, Michael?
Yeah, pretty much. My friend Scott down there pointed out your thread in Reddit, so sign up through Reddit.
So this is my 6th Zoom meeting for scriptwriters and filmmakers.
Cool.
And this
Nice.
will appear on YouTube.
Yes, unedited.
Okay.
So the other 5 meetings are on there also.
Cool.
So you can find out what other people have talked about, and of course, you know, there's always new things happening and things that are going forward or not going forward. So we'll be talking about some of those things.
Excuse me.
John was with us last couple of weeks ago.
Cool.
Small group then.
Yes, so this time I posted it on Reddit.
I saw you on LinkedIn too.
Yes. Well, I posted in LinkedIn the last few times and about 10 different places on Facebook on different script writing groups. It depends what else is going on, or if people are away locally, right? You can't go internationally.
Right, yeah. It is a slow time of year, even, you know, with the pandemic, I'm finding out with some of my colleagues and whatnot.
Yes, I posted on Facebook and LinkedIn. I post now weekly as I go to the Niagara wineries about my research for one of my mystery series, Wine Crimes, and looking for wineries and what locations and different kind of venues that they have that I can hide bodies or murder people in, or
You
Just
gotta hide the body.
don't ruin the wine, okay? You can't ruin the wine. No fermenting of bodies allowed.
I think there are some wineries that have also champagne, and I've heard of like champagne caves. So that could be fun.
In Ontario?
I think this is in Northern California, so that would need some research. But
Well, the thing is, I was supposed to have gone to California in October for the World Mystery Conference, VoucherCon in Sacramento, but that got canceled. I'm still waiting for my refund for the conference. They said that was supposed to have been going out the end of May. It's now almost the end of July. It still hasn't come through. And I had signed up for the StokerCon in the UK, the World Horror Conference, and I still haven't got my money back for that. So I'm like $6,000 out for all of my trips that I had put either paid for or by deposits, and the 2 conferences that I had paid for. So hopefully they'll come.
What are they saying? What is their response about the refunds?
Well, I was going to go for a 10-day bus trip to Holland, Belgium, and Luxembourg before I went to the horror conference. So I have a 2-year credit for that. Air Canada gave me a 1-year credit on the flight. No credit or refund from British Airways for flying from Brussels to London to go to the England conference. So my insurance, my travel insurance is supposed to be refunding that, but they're so far behind. I don't know when I'll get that. And then the horror conference, they changed it from April to August and now to January. And they're saying they can't give any refunds for the hotels until the hotels go back to work. And then you only get a partial refund because of the fees for PayPal. And that's the same for the conference registration. But VoucherCon in California, I'm supposed to get my full 200 US back by check, which, you know, it's now 3 months behind. And then my
In the mail, though.
deposit, that what?
It's in the mail, though. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And my deposit, I was supposed to go to Scandinavia at the end of August, so I got a credit for that. Well, like I said, so instead of international travel, I'm doing wineries. Well, it's 7 minutes after. I think we'll start, and if people come on board, we're supposed to have like 13 of us, but who knows? So, John, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm John Inucci. I'm from Yardley, PA. Right now, about 5 years. I actually started when I was back in college, and then I gave it up because I was coaching football my whole life. And when I retired from football, I started writing again, and I've got about, I guess, five screenplays now. I'm just finishing my 6th.
So, Scott, yourself?
Yeah, former actor, professional voiceover artist for years. I have 2 features, one that made the quarterfinalists in the Nichols Fellowship, and won a best screenplay at the Miami South by Festival. I got 2 pilots, original pilots, and a spec script for The Magicians, all unproduced. But, you know, open, keep working at it.
And where are you from?
New York City.
And David?
I am in Los Angeles, and I just read a really great quote from the writer Paul Schrader that I think is worth repeating. Probably some people have heard it, but he said, "A screenplay is not a work of art. A screenplay is an invitation to collaborate on a work of art," which I think I should steal and adopt and take credit for. But no, I'm not going to do that. So I write pretty much exclusively horror, and I have optioned a few scripts. A script of mine called Nevermore won Shriek Fest competitions screenplay contest a few years ago, and I'm currently shopping around my latest script, Psychopathogen.
Great. And Michael?
Yeah, I used to work in VFX. I was at Method Studios for about 9 years, working with HBO and NBC, Universal, etc., whatever. Started writing in college, but then after I stopped working in VFX, I started writing again. Right now, nothing has been optioned or anything, but I have 2 features and a pilot written. And I was in the middle of casting one of the features when SAG shut it down due to COVID. So, unfortunately.
So Whitney, if you want to unmute yourself, can we also see you, or are you by phone? Can you hear us, Whitney? We don't hear you. You have to unmute yourself. It's usually the bottom left corner. Oh, went out.
He dropped.
I think she had trouble signing in because it kept saying, trying to connect audio.
Oh.
So
Me, I'm in Hamilton, Ontario, just south of Toronto, between Toronto and Niagara Falls, the big bridge you got to go over. And I've written, directed, and produced 4 indie horror films. 3 were on Netflix. And I've written a lot of scripts, TV pilots, web series. And right now I'm writing a spec Hallmark Christmas romance mystery. So very happy that the research I've been doing into holiday movies and some of the resources, because it's very hard to find published Hallmark scripts. So I was able to find one, and it's really helped me with writing my own script, because I wanted to know how they wrote all of their Christmas activities in it, you know, like how much detail to put in, and it was interesting that this writer who must have written at least 12 Hallmark movies, he also puts in a lot of like their inner thoughts, or maybe it's the way that they stand back and give their expressions. So that was interesting, something that I haven't seen in other scripts.
Mike and I belong to a writing group that one of our fellow writers is actually doing a spec for, not a spec, but a script for Hallmark. Christmassy, romancy type of thing. Working out the bones of it now.
always Christmas Eve on Hallmark.
Right?
Yeah.
Always Christmas Eve right here.
Now, I get every Thursday night the newsletter from Inktip, and also the other place that I get daily, 2 or 3 times a day, producers looking for scripts is from Screenwriting Staffing. And I can't believe how many people are looking for Christmas and holiday scripts. So that's why I decided to write this spec script. And also, in those 2 markets, they're looking for a lot of horror scripts, especially the ones in, 1 or 2 locations and, up to 3 characters in it. Is that something that you've written, David, or your scripts?
Yeah, yes, it is. I have another script called Mirror Darkly that pretty much takes place in one house. So I've not heard of Screenwriting Staffing. Is that something you sign up for, or how does that work?
Yes, so it's all one word, screenwritingstaffing.com.
Okay.
And you can, before you pay, I think it's $100 per year, and you can check out their newsletter. Like they send out things on a regular basis, so you can just check them out to see what kind of things that producers are looking for before you send up. But you have to be like a paid up member to get the premium membership. I guess it's the $99 a year, so that you can get the ones that want the full scripts. Now, some of the short scripts, they post those in their feeds without being a member that you can apply to.
Okay, good to know.
What's the name of it again? What staffing? Script staffing?
Screenwritingstaffing.com.
Thank you.
Is it similar to Inktip? Because I know Inktip is looking for a lot of minimal location, lower budget, or is it sort of along those lines?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of the ads are the same ads too. They're the same producers looking back at both of them. There's a redundancy there between them. At least I found that.
Now, I don't know if you know, but Inktip will let you post log lines of your short scripts for free on their website.
I do know about Inktip. I actually just have not renewed my automatic subscription. I just, I have not gotten a very good response there. I've submitted scripts and some people have asked to read them, but I'm leaning a little more toward Virtual Pitch Fest these days. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I've heard of it, yes.
Yeah, Virtual Pitch Fest, or VPF, lists different agents, managers, and producers and what they're looking for. And then you kind of query them, and that's a pay service as well. But I've had a little more luck with that one.
Now, is that you just email them, or is it, how do you?
You can go to the Virtual Pitch Fest website and then sign up for different pitches. And then once you have pitches, you can pitch, whether you want to choose producers, and it lists their past projects and kind of what they're currently looking for. And you can organize by genre and by whether they're producers and things like that.
So do you have to pay per pitch?
You do. They're kind of clustered bunches of pitch deals too, though. You can buy like 8 at a time or something. It's basically comes out to like $7 or $8 a pitch or something like that.
Wow, that's very inexpensive, because I know I've done some pitches through Stage 32.
Right.
And they give you feedback on your synopsis, and they just sent me a survey. Stage 32 just sent me a survey to put through, and I complained that I didn't think the feedback was very comprehensive. Like, it'd only be a couple of sentences, when you were expecting a few paragraphs for the money.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I actually completed that because they said that they were gonna have a free gift, and then I clicked past the free gift, so I still don't know what my free gift is. Anyway.
Well, it's $25 off of one of their services that you have to cash it in by the end of August.
Okay.
And then I said, since I'm from Canada, I said that their services was very expensive, because of course our dollar is 1.4 to the US. So
right.
So it's very expensive for us here.
I tried one pitch on Stage 32, and I didn't like it. My sister actually wrote the pitch for me. I wrote the screenplay. My first screenplay I ever wrote came in the quarters of Nichols also, and was a finalist in Austin. So I tried to pitch that one. And I waited until I saw somebody who had the exact same genre looking for the exact same thing. Sent them the pitch, and what you were saying about the coverage actually said, first of all, they were late. I had to call Stage 32, again, in touch with Stage 32. And they finally got the person and said, he'll get back to you right away, or she'll get back to you. I forget who it was. That was a couple of years ago. And they got back within like 6 hours of the Stage 32 email, which makes me think they didn't even read it. And it basically said, this has got to be the best synopsis and the best pitch we've ever read. But we don't do this type of movie. But I waited till they got an exact producer who had done that type of movie.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, I think there's a lot of, because they're paying so much, it pays for them to do it. And they let their readers read it, and their readers probably read it and write the script that they think for them, you know.
Has anyone checked out Roadmap Writers yet?
That one I haven't heard of. I've heard of a lot of them. I got about 10 listed that I've posted my scripts on, but.
So Roadmap is new, and they do have a lot of good video resources, and I'm scheduled to do a pitch this Saturday. It was $35. I too had a bad experience with Stage 32 pitching. There were technical glitches and all this kind of crap. So I will keep you guys posted on how Roadmap Writers goes. We'll see.
Roadmap Writers, okay.
Now with them, they had a lot of free webinars in May and June, and then in July they started charging for their new webinars. But if you go on their website, they've got all kinds of free webinars about scriptwriters and filmmakers who have made it. So I guess they're, you know, self promotion about themselves.
Yeah, I think they're a good resource. I've watched some of those and then followed up with different managers and things like that, and I'm able to kind of target them pretty well.
I know, I think I get almost daily an email from them saying that they've got all these mentors and you know, we only have room for 5 more writers. So I'm not sure, you know, because it's like I said, almost daily I get the same kind of email for their services. I don't know how expensive it is for those mentorships. But I know they have, I think it's the last Wednesday of the month, they have a pitching session that you can get involved with.
Yeah, did you happen to see the last one, Christine? Because I missed the last one and I was signed up to attend.
No, I didn't watch that one, but I would check to see if they've got it recorded, because
Okay.
Because a lot of times if you miss certain things like that, they send you an email the next day or in a couple of days, say, you know, here's the recording. And that's what a lot of places are doing. Now, one free YouTube channel for writers and filmmakers is the Directors Guild of Canada. Their national YouTube channel is free, and they have 1 or 2 webinars a week for their members, and then they post it in a few days on their YouTube channel. So you know, they have, you know, Oscar-winning Canadian writers and directors on there. So, you know, it's interesting to hear their path and how they've gone to their success.
Sounds good.
Now, I haven't heard of any screenwriting conferences going on. Well, of course, not in person. And I did get an email saying that the Toronto Screenwriting Conference that was supposed to have gone on in April, that they're planning to have virtual classes and meetings and that sort of thing in the fall. So so that's something to look into, because I know there was in the past various other screenwriting conferences.
Okay.
And then the Toronto International Film Festival, which is supposed to be in September, now they're saying that's going to be virtual. It'll be interesting how they're planning to do their networking parties. Well, films can be streamed anywhere, but you know, again, their classes and that. And I know Thriller Fest for the International Thriller Writers Conference. They just had that a couple of weeks ago, and I signed up for that. And so I get to watch all of the videos as many times as I want for a year, coming up until next July. And then coming up in August is the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators. And so they're having like a 10-day virtual conference too about children's writing, because I've written a children's TV pilot, well, 2 TV pilots and a couple of scripts. So, you know, any extra knowledge you can get about, you know, writing or anything like that, especially if I can get it for free. You always
Right.
have to keep, you know, updating your skills.
John, what genre are you writing in typically?
I'm in dramedy. Well, drama and dramedy. Crime, you know, mystery a little bit, but basically drama and dramedy.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it was interesting when you said the thing about Nichols, because I got the thing, you know, the quarterfinalist too, the first script I ever wrote, so I didn't know how to take it. So I got coverage, made the changes, and the guy was very good with the coverage, made the changes, resubmitted the next year, didn't make anything. So, that was interesting, yeah.
The first coverage I got from them, or the summary, the guy loved it. Whoever read the script was a big fan of the genre that I was writing in. Then when it didn't make the semifinal, the guy who wrote that coverage ripped it apart. Like, I don't even know how it got this far, kind of thing. That's what it felt like. That could have been just me projecting. But it was kind of funny how vastly different. So I got a sci-fi fantasy fan on the first one, and a guy who obviously.
It depends who you get, especially in contests.
Yeah.
You might get a person who, you know, doesn't even know. I just got a script back from a producer who actually asked for the script for a friend of his. It's a Western I wrote. I wrote one Western. And he does Westerns, but he said, I've got like 5 or 6 in the works right now. My friend's looking for one. It's better he'll be better for a new writer. But he said, but I'm going to read it before I give it to him. He had it since January and finally finished it last week. And I never thought he would finish. He's a nice guy, super nice guy, always gives me advice and stuff. He sent it back with 10 pages of notes, page for page notes. And, you know, he told me basically, this can be made right now. He says, but me, myself, what I look for, there's a couple of things here. He said, I'm a major producer, and he makes big Westerns. He said, would look for these couple of things. I think if you do these, big producer can get it. But he said, but right now, he said, I'll pass it to my friend. He'll probably pick this up if he has an opening. He said, but there's no openings right now because of budgets. And he said, Westerns are a little too big a budget because you have to have horse traders. My thing involves 3 different towns. You know, you have to have open areas. So, but it's the best coverage I got. The coverage I got from Screen Guys or something like that was real good also. They did a great job. They did the one on my first one. And,
when you say good coverage, how do you characterize good coverage?
I mean, it's picky, but they get the story, if you know what I mean. That's my theory. You know, I got coverage on one thing, And it was actually somebody who does coverage professionally said he'd do it for free. And I ended up knowing. He said, I'll read it. And he read it. And maybe it's because he did it for free, but he didn't get the story. And he doesn't write in that genre. He didn't get the story. He didn't really get dramedy. That is really dark. You know, when people die in dark things, you don't want to, you know, have them just dying from a bullet. They usually end up dying from, you know, a sofa coming out of a chair, like the Coen brothers or something, coming out of a building or something like that, like the Coen brothers. So, you know, and, you know, that was my thoughts on it. Now, it was the same script, coincidentally, both of them. So it was totally different. And I'm not saying because one made me feel good, because the guy didn't make me feel good. He had a lot of things in there. And, you know, since I've been writing, that was my first script. I look back at it, I'm just rewriting it again. And I said, how did I write this bad back then? You know, it was 5 scripts.
Oh, looking back at the old stuff, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Have any of y'all ever had any blacklist coverage?
No, I'm not going to pay what they want to pay. They're pretty expensive.
Yeah.
And somebody says it's all readers that do that coverage for them, first level readers.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
read a
I
bunch
have
of things
not.
on Reddit about them. So I threw one out there just to see. I'm waiting for the coverage to come back, a pilot.
Hmm.
What'd they charge you? I'm curious, if you don't mind me asking.
I don't mind. You can go in there and find out. I want to say 80 or 100.
That's not
Crazy.
bad.
It's all right.
That's not bad. I paid for screen something, guys. They were screenplay guys. I paid 140. Somebody gave me their names, and I thought and everybody I've never heard a bad review with them. I've talked to about 10 people. Everybody loves them who did it.
Screenplay guys. Okay.
Screenplay, I think that's it. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, a producer asked me for their notes before he read it. He wanted to see the coverage notes, and I didn't have them anymore. It was like 4 years later. And I got a hold of them, and they said, no problem. We keep them all. If you want them, we can give them to you. Boom. If you want us to call them, we'll call. So I said, really?
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll check that out. The blacklist for me is an experiment. I mean, you know, as you know, the Nichols scripts get posted on the blacklist. You know, I got a few calls from that. I didn't do any coverage on that screenplay, but I've read recently, you know, I've been digging through the Reddit subreddits on, you know, and one guy posted this whole blog post about how he was able, with multiple coverage from the blacklist on a piece, he kept getting higher and higher scores till he got that 8 that got him noticed, right? So he thought, you know, for the money, and if it's good coverage, and then he makes the adjustments, and then he reposts and, you know, say, please cover this. He says it was like, you know, it was value well earned.
Does anybody ever get a job off blacklist? That's always the question. Stage 32 talks about that all the time. Get their you know, option. You know, I mean, they have a name. They do have a name. Yeah. You know, so does Stage 32, and I never heard it. They have like 2 people every 5 years. You know, they get it through their thing. So.
Yeah.
Well, I
Big
got
lottery.
a small writing job from Inktip
Yeah.
I had
for
a
a
number
web
of
series.
I had a number of reads on Inktip, and all of them came back the same way. We loved the script, we loved everything, but it's out of our budget range. You know, if you have a small budget one, it's good. Inktip's good. And, you know, the one I'm writing right now is in one, basically 80% is in one setting. So it can be done cheaper. But if you have a more expensive one, there's not many people on there who are going to pay mid to high range. It's basically small and micro on there. That's my only, I love the place. I got a lot of reads, but everybody said the same, John, I love the thing, but I can't get the funding for this. I just can't get this type of funding. So, I mean, for my screenplays, it's tough because I'm new, and the people with that kind of money don't look for new writers most of the time. You know.
So also we should really designate when we're talking about the blacklist, because there's also the blacklist that comes out, and those scripts certainly do get bought and optioned. The list of scripts that come out on the blacklist, the yearly, which is different from getting coverage and paying for the blacklist.
Right. That's where it originated from. The guy who I think started that blacklist that has the top, screenplays. He founded that website. I have read about people on the blacklist that maybe their screenplay didn't get optioned, but it got them representation.
Okay.
Got
That's
them
hard to
jobs
get.
in writers' rooms, per se. So I think it happens. It's just
That's harder than getting options, getting
Yeah.
representation.
Well, there are some things that have been produced that were on the blacklist too. I'm thinking of Eli was one. Shut In was one. I don't know if you guys are familiar with either of those. There's another one coming up that's an amazing blacklist script that was on last year's blacklist. It's called 10/31, the date of Halloween. I don't know if anyone's read that script.
no.
It's phenomenal. Anyway, yeah, so it can happen, apparently.
Have any of you entered the Ron Howard contest?
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, it's called, I'm going to look it up for you guys. It's a great contest. It's open.
You just went mute, John.
You went mute, John. Oh,
I'm
okay.
there, I'm back. Okay, so it's either Imagine or Image. I'm not sure which one it is, but basically he used to have one contest a year. You have to submit your script and a 30-second video explaining yourself and why they should take your script based on you. And that's the hard part, because 30 seconds is not long. And then there's a whole bunch you have to fill out biographies and stuff naturally, but there's no charge. This year he teamed with Netflix, and every month, well, it's every 2 months. He said every month, but it's going to be every 2 months. He has a different genre, and it's free. The first one was in June, and that was action adventure, family though, family rated action adventure. Because what he does, he teams with Netflix, and Netflix provides the producers. And then the producers, I guess, hooked up, and these producers did, family action movies, which is kind of tough, but anyway. And that's what they had the first month. Then he's supposed to announce this month, but I didn't see it anyplace for next month. And somebody said next month's going to be crime, mystery, drama, and then the following one's going to be the sci-fi one. And after those three, they're going to take like 3 months off and then start again. So that's a great, because it doesn't cost anything. That's a great contest.
Is it film or series or both? I mean, film as in feature.
It's film right now, but I believe they talked about also doing TV pilots, because it is Netflix. Either limited series or series, I would go on Netflix, which gives you a lot more leeway, because you can write them a little longer on Netflix and stuff, and Hulu and all that stuff. So they're having one, and somebody said Hulu picked up on it, and Hulu is going to start one. So I don't know. Prime had one a while back. They had a website on their Amazon. I don't know if anybody knew that, but that was a mess. It used to be you could actually write on the Amazon website and then send it to them, and or you can send the PDF, and it just became a mess because scripts were going all over the place. So.
Cool.
You enter a lot of contests?
Not a lot. When I write something, if I think it's decent, I'll just enter, a handful to see if it sticks, kind of.
Yeah.
The usual, like Austin or Page or Nickel, for screenplays, although I've been focusing on TV pilots lately.
I've sent two of my scripts to Nickel. One was a thriller, and one's two teen girls and their horses drama. And I've asked for coverage, so I checked into that, and I don't get any coverage notes until September.
Their coverage is supposed to be very, very good, though. But you get coverage from the high level readers, not from the first level reader. If you ask for coverage, that's what they were saying. They said people who have done it said it's the best coverage they ever got. So.
Yeah, I've entered about 4 contests this year, and there's a couple more. So I think I will enter a total of about 6, all in the horror genre.
The money adds up. They have a lot of special ones for horror. I know that. I don't write horror, but I know they have a lot of special ones that are just geared to horror.
Yeah, you just have to try and get them into the early deadlines before they get too outrageous.
Still could add up though. I mean, $45 here, $40 there. Yeah. It does. If you get coverage, it's definitely going to add up. So they used to have one just for Westerns, and I keep trying to find it again for that one Western, and I can't find it because that one used to be the winner gets produced.
Oh, wow.
They have a Western producer who said he will produce the winners. Oh, but I can't find it. I haven't been able to find it for 3 years. Probably the producer produced it. It was produced too many bad films, and he's not around anymore. So.
But I still like that mixed genre Western, what was it called? Cowboys and Aliens?
Oh, yeah.
I like that mixture because that was so unexpected. How they brought those two together. It really worked. So, coming up with something different like that.
Yeah, genre mix-em-ups, they're tricky. They can be really good or be a disaster. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting idea.
Well, they made some classic English book with vampires, wasn't it? Pride and Prejudice and Vampires or something like that?
Something like that. Or zombies. I thought that was Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies.
Is it zombies? But
Yeah, with
again,
Pride and Prejudice. They did an Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter one. That was
that was good. That was really different. Yes.
I'm looking for that contest right now. The one with Ron Howard.
I found it. It's called Imagine Impact.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't find the upcoming genres that they're doing though, but
They said it was going to be out by July 6th, the new genre, but they didn't have it. The first one was closed on June 30th. So, but they didn't come out with the second one. So probably because of the delay, because nobody's making movies right now. A lot of people aren't. Some are, but a lot of people aren't still.
right.
Well, a couple of weeks ago when we had one of these meetings, we had a writer director from Vancouver, and he said they've started up again filming in Vancouver. And I guess he's not here tonight because he's probably got a job. He was looking for a director's job. And he's directed a couple of Hallmark movies. So, they always try to produce a lot of Hallmark movies or that Lifetime movies, Christmas movies.
Unfortunately, I have to take off, but hey, it was really nice meeting you guys. And
Yes, thanks.
Thank you. I'll see
Good
you guys
luck.
later. Take care.
I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back.
Okay.
I got a fresh direct delivery coming, so I'm actually going to drop now, or my wife's going to kill me. We have to disinfect everything, so it's like very time consuming.
Oh yeah, that's my sister. My sister's that way. She gets mad when I don't disinfect everything.
So I have to follow the protocol. So guys, it was a pleasure. Hopefully we'll be on the next one. I'll see you soon.
Sounds good.
Yes, you'll get the invite.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Guess it's us again, Christine. Yeah.
No, but I found through another, the American Screenwriting Association, I got an email from them that talking about a webinar about writing holiday movies, and then I had missed the the webinar. And so I said, where can I, find this webinar? So they sent me the link to the guy who produced the webinar. And so I had to pay him a small amount of money to get access to that webinar. But I picked up some great points on writing the Christmas Hallmark movie. And then two of the people in the webinar said that they would make their scripts available, their produced scripts available. So I emailed both of them. I never heard from them. And I didn't want to push it. So I went back to the guy who produced the webinar and I said, do you know anybody who, where I can find a produced Hallmark Christmas movie? And he says, oh, you should check out this guy's website. All of his scripts are on the website. So these dozen Hallmark scripts I was able to access. And of course, I printed off the latest one and analyzed it. And like I said, I'm going to be using some of the things that are in it to put into my script. So I was really happy to have almost like a format on how to write, but mine's a mystery romance.
You want to look at this guy, Jesse, Prupas. His company is called Muse Entertainment. He makes all the Hallmark movies. The reason I know him was a guy, Greg Jonasson. He's from Sweden. Read one of my scripts and he said, listen, I want you to give it to this guy. And the guy had made one or two movies outside of Hallmark, but there's no way he was going to make a dramedy where people were dying right and left. So,
What's his last name again, John?
Oh, I got to find it again now. I closed it. But
Jesse.
Prupas, I think. Let me look it up again. LinkedIn. Go back to it. And, he may be a person, and I think they do take query letters. I'm pretty sure they do. Let me go back here. Okay.
But like I said, on Inktip, the last 6 months, there's a lot of the newsletters that had producers looking for holiday scripts. So as soon as
well, it's that time. If they make it now, it's right for the holiday. Here.
And I've heard that with COVID, wish fulfillment is one of the things that people are looking for, more positive, upbeat movies.
It's Prupas, Christine.
Prupas?
And it's Muse, M-U-S-E, Entertainment.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Well, my mystery isn't murder. It's these small thefts that happen in a town, and it has a positive ending. So
all my things have positive endings. Well, this one I'm writing now is a little ambiguous, but most of them have positive endings.
So in mine, nobody gets killed or stabbed or.
Well, what I try to do, because they're dramedies, and I read this a long time ago. This was actually advice from the Coen brothers, and it was advice from somebody else. That if you're going to write a dramedy, something that has comedy in it, don't show the murders. Have them killed gruesomely, but don't show the murders. In other words, if you ever watch the Coen brothers, most of the time, like there's the one thing where the refrigerator falls on the guy, you see the refrigerator fall, but you never see it hit him. So you know how he died, and it's gruesome, but you never show the blood. That was their rule, never show the blood. So I don't show the actual, murder. Like I'll have a guy come up to a guy from behind with a knife, just as the guy, the guy's gonna stab him, just the guy turns around and then go to the next scene. So things like that happen in mine.
But then it could be that you write it that way. It's another thing how the director and the producer want it. They may want it more explicit.
Well, they may, and then they're going to ask you to rewrite it, right, Dave?
That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Writing is rewriting.
By the time they finish, It was I was reading one person's thing. It was talking about getting an agent. The agent got him a job, and he went to the job, and they wanted to rewrite. And the agent said, either you rewrite it or I'm not your agent. And so he rewrote it. And he said, by the time he finished, and the movie was a total failure. And he said, by the time he finished, it wasn't even his movie. It was totally different. It was a whole different genre. It was everything was different. So
That's collaboration.
yeah, or it's appeasement. It's more appeasement, I think. Collaboration, both people have a say.
That's why I made my first 4 movies myself. I was it. I paid the money, so you had to do what I said.
How much did they cost you, if you don't want me asking?
Well, that was my retirement fund.
They can get pretty expensive. How long were they? I know they're on Netflix, but they're not long, right? They're shorts, right?
Oh, no. Sharp Teeth was 80 minutes. Vampire Dentist was 90. Marina Monster.
They ran into some bucks.
72. And Days of the Iguanas, it didn't get onto Netflix. That was 60 minutes.
Yeah, so everybody keeps telling me, why don't you produce your own? This is a good script. And I keep saying, because I don't have the money.
Yeah, it's very expensive. But I think I said to you that I was running another business that everybody in the area knew me. So, and I was on all these boards and committees. So I was able to ask for a lot of favors. The first movie, Sharp Teeth, was filmed. David, I don't know if you know the Toronto area that well, but where I live, there's 3 bodies of water, a marsh that runs into Burlington Bay, that runs into Lake Ontario. So they're all connected. So my first movie was basically in the marsh, and it's run by the Royal Botanical Gardens, and they would charge $50,000 a day to film there. But because I was on the board of directors, I got it free for the morning.
Nice.
On February 29th, Leap Day, when the ice was melting, and we had to keep people off the ice while we're filming. And my husband had to bring a, what's that called, generator. So because it's out in this parking lot in the boonies near the marsh, and so we could have some electricity.
So how can we see this movie?
Well, like I said, it used to be on Netflix. You can see the trailer on my website on YouTube. Under Christine J. Whitlock. You can see, and then you can see my other short movies that I've made, some animation stuff.
Cool.
And I still sell copies of them on Amazon and eBay. But since they were filmed, they weren't filmed in high definition, so then it became a problem. Later getting distributors, because all they wanted was things filmed by high definition, so that caused a problem. And then to try to get them on Amazon Prime, you have to have described video, described dialogue, and it was extremely expensive, so I didn't get that done because I haven't heard anybody make a lot of money on Amazon Prime to offset the cost.
A guy was telling me, I told you this last night, a guy was telling me he went to Amazon Prime and he actually was making peanuts on his film. He actually pulled it himself.
And he had to get that described video because I know he must have, because it wouldn't let me upload until I also had that file. Like you had to upload all these files, and one of them was that described
Yeah, he said the costs were high. That's what he told me. The costs were high. And the costs were too high for a filmmaker to put it on there himself.
Well, it was no cost to put it on, but like I said, that production cost to get that file done was very expensive.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah, it seems like so many of the budgets are getting shaved even further, especially in the horror genre. And, you know, I mean, I love the creativity that it sometimes happens because of these, you know, limited budgets, and people come up with great workarounds, but at a certain point it's and it just seems to keep getting squeezed smaller and smaller. I don't know if you found that with Westerns too.
I just read well, I'll tell you, one day I got a call. I'm still supposed to call the guy back. Guy's studio was talking about doing doing my Western, and he said, we're going to do it in a budget under $1 million. And I said, how are you going to do 3 Western towns? The guy, it's a lot of traveling in it. 2 major gunfights, major gunfights, and other things in there. How are you going to do all this for $1 million? And he said, and get a name actor. He said, it's easy. We're going to eliminate the horses because the horses in Western cost you a lot. He said, and no stunts. I said, well, that's the whole point of this hero. He's a legendary guy. He's a legendary ranger, you know, that does things that other people can't do. And he's like, yeah, but we got to change that. So it's like, man, I don't think you're going to make this one, you know, but they do. I just read an article. It was talking about budgets in movies, and it was talking about actual budget versus bloated budget. And like, for example, they were using, what film were they using? But it was a $300 million budget. No, it wasn't 300 million. It was higher than that. It was in the billion range. It's a $3 billion budget. It was a major one by Disney. The actual cost to make the movie itself was $230,000. The rest went to either directors, stars, publicity,
Yeah.
or producers.
They say that publicity and the marketing costs at least as much as producing the movie.
Yeah.
And that's why they haven't been releasing some of the movies that were supposed to have gone on this summer, because they can't get them in any of the theaters. So why should they, you know, publicize them?
Right.
Yeah.
Because there was supposed to have been another Tom Cruise, one of those him in a jet movie. It was a remake or a sequel.
Yeah, it was Top Gun.
Top Gun, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It was supposed to have come out this month. Well, now that you know that producer, can you go and write him a script based on his budget?
I probably can, but there was it was just a lot of question marks with him. He was a guy who did a lot of shorts. Their production company did a lot of shorts, and they were doing their first feature. And actually, they do have a name connected to it. One of the owners of the company is Jamie Curtis. Okay. And she was talking about, or he was talking about, but she's not a hands-on owner. She just owns part of the company. And he said that, what was I going to say? That they're doing their first feature. There's no option. You get paid off what they make because they're a small company, you know, that kind of thing. And it just was like, it just seemed like they were more lost because they had never made a feature before than I was. I thought I might know a little bit more about it. And I don't know anything about making a feature, and I thought I might know a little bit more. So, but let's see here. The one I got, and people have told me, the guy told me that read the script, he said, John, this is $3 to $5 billion to make this properly with the right actors. And you need the right actors because he said that the characters are very, very broad arcs. He said a bad actor will make this look cartoonish. So.
Well, hi, Ian. Introduce yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute.
I'm so sorry I was late. I knew there was something else I had to do tonight. I'm Ian Walker. My area is writing about ADHD, and I have written a book that's doing very well internationally. And I'm in the process of writing about 5 sort of elements from the book into a play. So I'm up to about Act 3. I think it's going to have maybe 5 acts by the time we get done. And I'm hoping in the near future, I don't know if I'll write it, but somebody else would. I'd love to see the book moved, made into a movie. So, and I've been writing for a long time, and Christine and I've done some projects together. And so I'm just really happy just to come and hang out here. I'm doing a lot in the ADHD community. That's one reason.
Great.
Yeah. We've just put together a mastermind. There's about 15 of us, and we're all entrepreneurs and all over the States. And so I'm the only Canadian, always. And so it's great. We're just, I'm getting some new ideas how to market the book and to look into some new, audiences and new avenues. So I'm really excited. And I was on an sort of a program call this afternoon, so I'm a little buzzed. Yeah, but I'm here. I had some chocolate, so I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
But Ian, I also want you to write that children's book about it.
Yeah, you know what? That's next on my list.
Good,
and you know what
good.
happened? Remember I was telling you I started it? I wrote something, and then I thought I saved it, and I thought I passed it over to my agent, because I like for him to get his viewpoint in it, because he's a really good writer. And he couldn't find it either. So now, I was really pissed. So, yeah, that's why I'm anything new that I'm writing, I'm backing it up onto a stick. So that way I know where it is, without. So yeah, so I've got some ideas for that too. But
and I'll send you the information. The Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators is having their virtual conference beginning of August. I think for
awesome.
10 days.
Oh, okay. And does that cost something to join, or to go on the Zoom call?
No, well, you have to pay for it.
Okay.
And I joined the organization. I think it was 100 US,
Yeah.
and it's been worth every penny, because every week they had a different Zoom meeting on different aspects of writing for children.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they have these all backed up in their archives.
Oh.
And then it's $100 US for the conference. And then you can keep watching the various webinars for a year.
Oh, wow, that's a really good deal.
Yes, so I'll send you that. And
okay, that would be great. That's good. Hey, did I tell you? I don't think I told you. I've been asked to speak online to the ADHD. It's called the ADA. It's a combination of 2 organizations coming together. So I'm going to be one of the featured speakers in November. International audience. Yeah, so I'm really excited. Like your background there. I've tried that one too.
Now, what I have to tell you, that when you're going to be a speaker, because this is how other speakers have done it, in their background, they place their books.
Oh.
Or a poster of their book.
Yeah, I've got one. I've got my poster for. Perfect. Okay.
So have your book in front of you and your poster behind you.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Okay. Good. I will do that. So they're not using Zoom, so I don't know what platform they're going to be using yet, but
There's
could
a
be
few.
100 people on the call. So I have to record it. So I got to record my lecture. So and what I'm going to do is, because we're talking about singing and vocal and choral music, that's my theme. It's on music versus medicine. So I'm going to do a little voice lesson. I'm going to teach using Do a Deer, from Sound of Music. Everybody knows that. And then I'm going to segue into into a lecture about me and my methodology on music versus medicine.
Now you also have to contact TVO because
Yes,
they
ma'am.
do little snippets of
Right.
artists.
Oh, awesome.
And because
Okay.
while I'm watching some programs, and then they finish
Yeah.
early, then they
Yeah.
put on these like 2-minute little
Blurbs.
documentaries.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So I would check them out,
Yeah, I'll
TVO,
check them out.
and also CBC.
Yeah.
Now, have you gone to Cable 14 for an interview?
I tried that and they were going to do it, and then something happened that they didn't get back to me. So I'm going to need to.
Yes, you have to keep on them.
Yeah, I've revised my my press release. So there's some more like current stuff, and then we've changed some stuff. What seemed to have worked better, like, I don't know if you remember the second or third paragraph, I put some of the A-lister names, that we have in the book, right? You've read it now, right? You've read it?
The book, no, not yet.
No, I gave it to you.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Because I want you to write a little blurb about it. So that's
okay.
why. Yeah.
And the other place is you should get on CHCH TV Morning.
Yeah. Do you have a contact there? Because I've had a lot
No.
of runaround. I tried to. I gotta do some research there. Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't know about John where you live, but here, like I did a lot of publicity work for organizations, and getting an
Oh, I like your
interview
background, John. That's beautiful.
on your local cable station, because then in these days you can then copy it and you can put it on your website or
Absolutely.
on your YouTube or whatever to
Yep.
to let people know what you're doing.
Yep.
If you and try to get on any podcasts. David, is there any horror podcast? Oh, before I forget, David, I'll put you on the email list for next week. The fourth Monday of the month, we have Horror Writers and Filmmakers Zoom meeting.
Sounds great. Yeah.
So it's an entirely different group. And so I
Where
think
are you based, David? Where's David?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Are you really? Wow.
I would love to crash that party. Christine, were you asking about horror podcasts? Because I kind of, let me get this. Hold on a second.
I like John's background here too. That's beautiful.
Is that a demon dog?
Yeah, actually, horror podcasts are kind of my jam. So I don't know if you know a lot of them, but I can send you a list of ones that I check out regularly. No,
but I mean for you to get on there and talk about your scripts that you're trying to sell. That you're looking for filmmakers.
As soon as I break through.
I know the feeling. Yeah. And you have the energy.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, there are a lot of great horror podcasts. There's one, I don't know if both of the women are from Canada, but the Faculty of Horror is amazing.
Really?
They do a kind of a more academic take on horror films, and they're really great.
That's awesome.
But I'm definitely going to check out your YouTube channel and watch some of your shorts and features. That's impressive that you've done features.
4.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So I know what I'm talking about, like about independent filmmaking. Well,
Really?
the first 2 had 100 cast and crew, and the third one had 120 because we spent 5 months on Burlington Bay filming boat races, and they let me do it for free. Had my cameraman lying on the hood of the committee boat filming the boat races because I had to commit to record all of the races twice a week. And Ian would know that there's the Burlington Boating and Sailing Club and the Royal Hamilton Yacht Club, and the Burlington group lost their committee boat. Something went wrong for the whole season, so we could only use one committee boat for the whole season to run these races. And then I got like Volunteer of the Year from Burlington, and I got a special flag from Royal Hamilton for doing that. So that was a long haul for so I have tons of footage
I was gonna say,
of
yeah.
boat races. So if ever I had the money, I could make more movies just, you know, editing these things together. And I think I was telling John last week about how we had to interview the shark victims, because my third movie was called Marina Monster. It's based on true facts. Bull sharks are in the Great Lakes. And this one was in Burlington Bay. A teenage bull shark during this Around the Bay race and eating some victims buffet style. We had 40 shark victims. And so I had to interview all of these shark victims to make sure they looked okay in their bathing suits, and of course these bikini babes.
Oh, of course.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the way how everybody could
You
scream.
need an assistant for that with the bikinis?
That what?
You need an assistant for that with the bikinis?
Yeah.
Well, it was me and 3 men, and 1 man had to leave because he couldn't handle what one of the young girls looked like. She looked like an absolutely spectacular, I think she was 14, Raquel Welch. Beautiful long blonde hair,
Wow.
perfect body. She lived across the street from me, and her and her father came to the audition, and she was a great shark victim, and you know, lying on the deck of one of the sailing boats, lounging. And I'm quite sure a lot of
now on a
people.
tombstone.
That what?
I could just see that now on her tombstone. She was a great shark victim.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one of
Put that down as one of your credits.
my shark victims has passed away last month, and they have, what do they have? You know, they send you the memorial thing where you can put the comments. So I put his shark victim in the water picture, and I said how he was a great vampire and vampire dentist, and he was a great shark victim in Marina Monster. Because of course he got all of his grandkids to be shark victims with him.
Oh, wow.
In the movie, so the whole family, when we had the premiere at Mohawk College,
Okay.
they all came out, you know, on the gigantic big screen. It's unbelievable when you see your movie for the first time on the big screen. Like that just blew me away with the first movie. Like I couldn't believe it. Like it was spectacular.
Did
And
you
I mean,
get a
if I
lot of
could-
good comments? Like, did you get some good, like, did you get some reviews from your monster one with this Like, did someone come and review it? And
Oh yeah, yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah, the Spectator and
Oh,
you
the
know and
Spectator came and reviewed it?
oh yeah, I invited
Okay.
everybody
Yeah.
and the horror magazines.
Okay.
Well, because
Yeah.
I would send them,
Right.
copies.
Okay.
Well,
Oh, you'd
there's a
send like
drive-in
DVDs?
resurgence here, so maybe you can get it at a drive-in up there. Because the drive-ins are having a
Yeah, they're
renaissance.
becoming a
Coming
big
back,
thing.
Walmart's putting their parking lots, they're making into drive-ins.
Wow. Where are you, John?
I'm in Bucks County in Pennsylvania, right outside Philadelphia.
Okay.
So he's not too far from us.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been up there. I went to Niagara University for a year.
Oh, awesome. Great. I hear good things about that school.
I don't know, I only went there for a year. The best thing about it was you can go to the bar on campus and jump on the train that passed that night while it was moving and end up at your dorm on the other side. That was the best.
Oh, wow. I hear it's a really good school, like for the culinary arts and stuff.
I don't know. I was up there. I was in their first phys ed class. They never had
Oh,
phys ed
okay.
before. So
Wow.
Oh, David, have you written any short scripts that you might be able to produce?
I did write a short script that was produced years ago, and that was a short horror film that I kind of shopped around and had some producers meetings and things. I do have two other shorts that could be produced. So I think maybe the budgets on both of those might be a little too big though. So I need to think of a short, even more minimal location and budget movie. I have a lot of ideas for ones though.
Because I was saying to somebody at one of the previous Zoom meetings about checking out your local college to see if they have like a film club that can help you do that. Because with my movies, my director of photography was a teacher at a college in Toronto, and he got his students to be the camera people, and I got the equipment for free. I just had to drive to Toronto on Friday morning or Friday afternoon to pick it up and bring it back to Toronto before 9 a.m. in the morning, during rush hour. And
Right.
and we had the camera equipment all weekend long. So that really cut a lot of the expense. And I had belonged to a filmmaking group, and I got a lot of the volunteers from them. And I belonged to a lot of theater groups, and I was script supervisor for a lot of the groups. And so I was able to see all these actors and how they acted and how they related to me. And then I was able to handpick them for my movies. In fact, one of my actors who was in all three of the movies, he is on Off-Broadway in New York. He's been there, I don't know, 15 years now or something. I had to give him letters, that he was in my movies, recommendations and all that. So there are ways to get around it. I mean, of course, I had to pay for, like the food and
Sure.
with the costumes and makeup and all that kind of stuff. And I had to pay the editor, and I paid my director of photography, but it was minimal when you had to think of all the people that volunteered, 100 cast and crew.
Yeah, no, I like the way you're thinking. I've definitely produced some shorts for day jobs. I did a series on a zombie series that were kind of zombie comedy ads, and those got a lot of YouTube eyes on them. So, and you know, there's no excuse, because where I am, I mean, people will send you headshots, and Lord knows there's a lot of out of actors in this town. And there's amazing actors that are not working, that will work for next to nothing.
Like I said, as long as you give them the big 3 C's: credit in the movie,
Right?
craft, you pay for all the food. You have to have a lot of junk food, and like caffeine, coffee, and Coca-Cola, and a copy of the movie. As long as you give them those 3 things, you know, people will work for free. And it's we only filmed 1 day a week on Sundays. We filmed Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
And I made, like I said, you know, 80 minutes for Sharp Teeth, 90 for Vampire Dentist, and 72 for Marina Monster.
Yeah, I think I really need to research directors and find one and kind of get the same kind of sensibilities. Because, I mean, I feel like I could do some of the producing as well. Not the main part of it, but the directing is the main missing link for me.
Well, again, you'd have to ask them for examples of their work, you know,
Right.
and how you like their style. Because if you're the producer, if you're putting up the money, you can fire them, right? Like if things aren't good, and you have to see how they relate to you, and how they relate when it comes to the auditions. You know, how do they treat the actors, and how do they treat the crew? Because you bring in the crew to see how they relate to the director.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're familiar with it. It never ceased to amaze me how an actor would come in for an audition and just read a couple sides or whatever, and you would be like, you know, you would leave, and a few people that were there in the room would be like, yeah, he was you know, he was not much. And then you would go back, of course, and watch it, and when people just have that certain thing on film, and it's so bizarre. It happened to me a few times, and it was like people that were just didn't do much at all in the room, but then you watch them on camera and they just pop. That's pretty magical.
Well, the guy that I picked to be the vampire and Vampire Dentist, he was what would you call him? A ghost guide, you know, for at night. You'd go and he'd guide you around different buildings at night. You know, those ghost
Oh,
tours.
right. Mm-hmm.
And he was already dressed in that cape and top hat,
Mm-hmm.
and he had the voice and the mannerism. And as soon as I saw him, I said, "There's my Vampire Dentist," you know. And thank God he took the role. So you know exactly when, you know, when somebody fits the part when you have written it.
Yeah, but I always tell people that, though, if they're auditioning actors, just roll film on them or roll video and go back and watch it, because you can. I've been fooled a few times, and it's really interesting, and it goes both ways. There will be people that will blow you away in person, but then on film, it's just not really there.
I've never had to fire an actor, but I have fired crew that would tell me while I'm trying to direct how to direct. So, you know, like, it's one thing that they tell you afterwards for any suggestions, but not while you're doing it, right? Like,
Right.
That's really unprofessional. Yeah, terrible.
You know what? I've got to take off, but Christine, I want to thank you for the invite, and I would love to attend that other Zoom. So definitely send me
Yeah, so it's next Monday from 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Okay,
So I'll
sounds
put you on the
good.
list.
Okay, thanks again. It was great to
Great.
meet everyone.
Yes, thanks for coming.
Nice to
meet you,
meet you.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna get going too, Christine.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
thinking the same thing.
Okay,
Long
well,
day.
thanks for coming and
Yeah, yeah. Hey, are you going to the Fringe thing? Is the Fringe, I keep getting emails. Are they doing something?
I saw some emails, but they seem to be kind of weird.
Yeah, like, have
Like
they
they'll
got a
come to your
venue
door.
or? Huh?
Like they'll come to your door or something.
Oh, really?
That's the one email that I got. Yeah.
Oh, I sort of looked at it briefly, but then, I thought, oh, I'll ask Christine what's going on because you know what's going on with them, and you've had some of your work, premiered with them. But I think this summer it's kind of a write-off, eh? Like,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna maybe go up to the Stratford Music Festival, but they're doing stuff like within the gorge. So,
Outdoors.
yeah, outdoors. So just to go up and just to hear some live music will be good.
Great.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
I'm gonna take off, guys. Take
Okay.
All
care.
right.
Thanks, John, for
Bye-bye.
coming.
You.
Bye for now.
Thank you. I gotta get it.
Awesome. Well, good to see you, my friend. I'm sorry I couldn't
Yes.
have got here a little earlier. Just,
No problem.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. So how many of these have you been doing? Have you been getting more than, you get a lot of people coming out?
Of course, the first couple were a lot more. There was
Yeah.
supposed to have been 13 today
Yeah,
that had signed up, and we only had 6 at the most
right.
tonight. So, but
But
if
it's
it's
good.
nice
You're
out,
getting your name out there,
but it's not, if it's nice outside, why
I
would you want to
know.
be indoors, right?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of humid though. I stuck my head out like just before dinner and I just went, oh, wait till the sun goes down. I have to go water my plants.
They didn't get enough yesterday in the storm.
Yeah, I think so. Holy smokes, did that ever come down fast, eh? Yeah, so no, we seem to be okay, but it's so weird because the front lawn just looks like so burned, and the back lawn, so I cut it and it looks a lot better, but I'm hoping the rain, will bring back some of the green, but the front looks so brown. And then, we couldn't water the lawns right up till July
Right.
the 13th because of that pipe or that stuff that was going on at the sanitation. So yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I'll see you another time.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks
Bye.
for coming by. Bye.